Well, that was interesting. Yeah, see the nut that holds that hole saw on got lodged in that hole. That just takes the cake. See if I can get it out of there. And it's too cold for this crap. I don't do cold good. I don't like it. I think we're at 27 degrees today. Or right now, anyway. Come here. And at least they got this heater. It's like Chucky said, there ain't nothing neater than a heater. Or my dad used to say that. Ain't nothing neater than a heater. Chucky's got this ladder out here. You're gonna have to put up his stuff. I got more boxes up there. At least he made some shelf room for me. He needed some boxes, so. Well, I'm gonna see what I can get done today. It's another bad hair day. It's cold. I gotta do my power for my graph. And on that deal, we'll put the fuse back by the battery so you'll have access to it. This is the only part that kind of blows, but alright, well, camera died. Had to go get some batteries. What am I looking for? Water and my phone. I got a bunch of texts. Alright, well, update time, I guess. Got, I got this other scan strip pretty much started and installed. Although I gotta get out of here, I gotta wipe some of this up. Get a towel, wipe that up, but then I gotta solder this to this other end. Our other end. Where's our other end? Right there. Okay. So I want to strip these back, because if you do like this, you can't pull it through the hole. So you got to kind of do like that. And what I like to do is solder them and then put shrink wrap over them and just have them all nice and neat. And then I'll pull down in the hole, and we can, it'll be nice and clean that way. And anyway, you guys get the idea. So then back here, I put the batteries, and I'm gonna put like the fuses back here, where you can just undo the fuses if you need to. And then also, if he ever decides he wants switches, I mean, who knows? I would say I would unplug my graphs. All right, what am I doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I gotta turn this back more so that I can do this. See, they never give you enough. This needs to come back. So then the problem is, then you gotta cut these ends off because they tend them. Yeah, it's just gonna have to go. Can't do it like that. Alright. And then, kind of is a bummer, because then you don't have a lot here. But we got more here, so then we can take some of this. We don't need that much, but I'm just, I guess I waste it, but literally this is going to be down in there, so it's like, let me get that straightened back out from my mistake earlier, and we're just going to trim it back a lot. Alright, got my other scan strut on, we got our power, and we got our other cable. Now I don't know if this is long or too short, but I can always adjust this. And I went with the smallest one because it was the most tight fit, so like if I gotta put some more of the network in, I got enough slack, I can pull it. The other thing with this MSI transducer is, so this will come from the, you know, from our trolling motor, but since we're doing Helix 9s, we have to have this this thing that converts the MSI to read it. So we don't have one of these connections on the Helix. So this is just a conversion cable, you know, or anyway, you get it. So it's just going from one type of connector to the other. So we just need to put these together. And then the last thing I need, well, I gotta go ahead and get the battery situation going. I can go ahead and leave this connected. It's a seal connection. Now, could possibly make this where I think if you had the nut, you could probably, I could flush mount this, but we just have to use this, I guess. Gonna get that out of our way for the moment. Because we'll have to measure this, and there's no real good way to like go inside here, and then I would need another scan strut because they're not big enough, you know. Otherwise I could come in here and then, you know, I could do something, but you're coming from here to there, so there's not really much I can do. You know, maybe when Rich gets here, he can look at it and say, well, let's just tie wrap that up like that, which I may do just temporarily anyway, just so it's not just floating around. But it's gonna be something like this. So our power and network. And I'm not sure how far I'll get with this. So I think I'll put more like right there. Alright. Now, just cut off our tails there. Alright, there we go. So now, tomorrow or sometime, I'll get the graph out, measure our piece that we put in this piece, and it'll connect on. I think we do have to have a network adapter. And look at my stuff. I think we gotta have, because we don't have this connection on the back of our Helix 9, so we need the adapter for it as well. Alright, I'm sorry. It was sitting like right in front of my face. So this is our little cable that we gotta use to adapt. So unfortunately they adapted two types of systems, you know, like this is all for, say, your your Solix units, and then, you know, we're using this. Should get tight, yeah, it is. So now that'll go into our so I can already see that I'm going to put this connection below my scan strut. So, yep, it'll come back off. So I have this network. This is our Humminbird network. ASETH5PGL. And where to install it. So I was looking at our boat, seeing where we could put it or should put it. And your cable, like, you know, putting it back here, you want the shorter runs of cable if you can. So you got a couple options, because we don't really have any locker space. There's not another locker over here, and the only real, I don't know, logical place that I can think of is going to be underneath the console. So you can put it in front there, but we got to drill 2 holes. So if you see this, it's got, so I bought some screws and then some lock washers, or lock nuts and washers. And so we could do it here in the stainless steel, and we'd see the, so looking on in front of the boat, you know, you'd see those two, and I'm not sure that I like that idea. The other thing about that is, if you're trying to do this by yourself and you would like try to lock the nut down, you'd have to reach all the way from this side to that side. So I think what the more logical place to put it is up higher and put it right there. Because at some point he could get like I would put and mount maybe just below it, like your tools, like you can do an accessory little, it's got slots, and then you can slide your pliers, fish, you know, your fish scale, just different things, and it'll look nice. And then when you're looking straight on at the boat, then you're not seeing 2 stainless steel screws going all the way through. So I've got to get those out of the truck, and I had to go get some fuse blocks, and so basically I'm not going to be able to shoot much of this because it's cold. I'm going to have to lay down a blanket, go ahead and get that installed, make sure our cabling from here to there reaches, and you know, tidy it up on as high as I can get it, because then when you're, you know, you're in the cockpit or what you're you're not kicking it, and you're not, you know, like the cable's not falling back, and you can dress it real nice. So put it right here. It's sealed, it's weatherproof, so it won't hurt anything. And then but I'll have to lay down, so got to get power for that. And then I also got my power ran, and I've got to finish out the power for this side, and then the 2 lines that go to the batteries in the back with the fuses. And so got my work cut out. It's cold, but it ain't too bad. I mean, I can still work in it, so I'm gonna get her done. I don't know how long this battery will last. These GoPros are not good for cold weather. So it's lithiums in general, you know, in the cold they're just not gonna perform as good. Here's my this is what I'm gonna do. So when you get these from Humminbird, they got a short like length, so I ran a piece of tubing, you know, some shrink wrap over the lines, and then get a pair of these and twist them together, because one end of this is tinned already and then the other is not. So then what I'm going to do is, and it's good to have a couple of tools out here, because I got these and I got some other wire strippers. Wherever it wants to lay, I'm gonna let it go. Anyway, and then we get some power out here. Put some something on here because it's so cold. I don't know how long you know, I got some, but this is just, you know, flux. So I don't know how long. I don't put a lot, just enough to cover it. Allows that solder to flow in between the joints, you know what I'm saying? And but I gotta get some power going out here, so. Alright, so I don't know the thinking on this. You know, what do they expect you to do? Because you're gonna go from this gauge wire, which I guess is 14 gauge wire. That's what it looks like. And then you're gonna go from that to, this is 10 gauge wire, which you want a big wire because, well, the way the electrons go, you know, it's like if it was a smaller wire, it would heat up, and then you got more resistance, and this way you got very little resistance. The end is 10, so then, you know, if you cut it off, then you have to cut it back to here, which shortens the length of this wire. And this is in a really cool, and I like it. It's like a jacket it's like formed around these 2 wires. I don't know how they made this, like if it was in some sort of form or, you know, I don't know. So, but it's cool, and it's very difficult to cut in and then get a good precise cut. So if you cut this back, then you have the chance of like not really having enough room between them. You know what I'm saying? So this way I can put one on this end, and now this is going, like you'd say, like horizontally, which then normally you would think, well, I'm going to feed it through the top, the end, and you want it like this. And we could do that. but it makes it more difficult. So I just get a bunch of solder on here, and this ain't gonna hurt the gel coat if any falls off. I'm just gonna run her down, man. Yeah, that should do it. And I do the same thing with this ground cable, negative cable, whatever you want to call it. See how they've already tinned the end there. So I'm just going to get these guys, and I'm just going to I don't know. And then too, like if I mess up, then I haven't cut off anything to shit. This one's not wanting to twist real good. Let me get it over there. That'll work. Looks Frankensteinian. I don't know, this is probably one way you can do it. There's probably other ways to do it. I don't like those little connectors, the butt connectors, because they fail. If you get the ones that supposedly, you know, you heat them up, they solder them, and then they, you know, yeah, probably the camera's way over here, but yeah, so I don't even know if the camera got that, but you know, like you know, you're just twisting it around to put a little bit of flux on it and solder it up. Look at it, it's out. Yeah, just heat this up. My tip's not starting to look real great. Takes a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know. This is my way of solving this. I don't know. You know, there's probably several ways I could do it. That connector is pretty small enough. Like it can go in a hole. Now if it's a, you know, like if it's a Solix unit, you would put your connector through whatever hole you're doing first, because I just gotta watch this. Put a bunch of solder through it. There we go. Now she's doing something. Alright, so what I was saying was like, you know, if you had to go through a hole, like up here, he has an old, I guess, Humminbird, and which I could take it off, because I could temporarily run my lines up through here just to see what it looked like. I've got a screwdriver down here. If I can reach it. Come on now. Got a magnet so I can reach it. I will. Oh boy, sorry. Just let it take it off. Because if I need to, you know, I'll just run the wire out here. I think I'll do that anywhere just to kind of gauge like how much of this I need. So then it's just a matter of you know, putting that shrink wrap together. Yeah, you see, he's got a hole coming out up here. Alright, so back to this. Then to finish this up, what I do is get a couple pieces of shrink wrap, which I have some down here. Get my dad's old pliers out here. I cut them as straight as I can. I'm not trying to get too crazy. Because they got kind of hard, like, side cutters. Anyway. Just get it to open up. Oh, there we go. Open up. Had it open. That's the only thing I don't like about this stuff. Hey, I hope it's not gonna snow. Down here. Get some heat on me. Feels pretty good. Seems so elementary, but if you want something to last, this is what you're gonna need to do. And then we'll get it up, and then we'll come all the way over. And You know what? I probably should have like had it going all, you know, back further. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could do something like that, cut out the ends, or I could take this all the way off. What I should have done was maybe, or even put another piece on it. I got another piece. I guess what I'm saying is you're never going to get them perfect. I mean, you might. Yeah, you can just get another piece, and then sometimes you can overlap them or go underneath it. You just twist it. There it goes. No. Well, it don't matter. Get them close, and then just hit them again, like. It's gonna be out of the dash. Seems crazy, I know. See, if I would have had one piece, it would have been a lot better, but. So, you know, again, this is like out of the dash, so hillbilly, redneck, whatever, but that will never come off. And, you know, I could have probably, like, if I had the right stuff, you know, anyway, I cut a little of this off, but now I can kind of shove it down here, and I'll bring it out through that hole. I'll have to get inside to do this. Now, like I was saying, like, well, I'm gonna delete all that. Yeah, because I should have put it through the hole. Wow, okay. I'm gonna get my battery ends here done. It's cold. And core. This is good line. So, you know, it's about that length. I really wanted it about down to here, so. Just try to be careful with it. Anyway, peel it back. And my hands are starting to get a little cold. I need gloves. Let's see, and then we're gonna do this. heat shrinkage. So I realized what I did earlier, I'm gonna have to redo, but I'm gonna start with this negative. Yeah, my hands are kind of chilly. Let's see here, I got, do this one. Maybe? Yeah. Alright. I just bought one of these cheap little kits online, and I was like, I'll try it out. It's 10 bucks. It's okay. It's not like the best ever, but it's not bad. Get it to open up. There we go. I got a pair of crimpers that I think works alright. I think that's small enough. Use these, nope. It's gotta go a lot smaller. There we go. So. Come on. I'm gonna do both negative ends. I'm gonna do see, I got one of these, so I think we're gonna have to, I could cut some of this back, but I ain't gonna. And I'm gonna come back a little further than I normally would, because this here, you want to be able to wrap around or put in there, you know. I don't know if you know, but I'll come back here. I'm gonna just take a little more off. Come on. Then I can, you know, spread it in there. First, I need some shrink wrap. Alright, this is maybe a little too big, so let me get some other one. I got some, I don't know what this is. Does it say? 1/4 inch. gotta have enough room, you know. Now I'll spread it out. Same thing with this. Just make sure my shrink wrap now. We'll go over that. Nope. So you need another piece of bigger shrink wrap. So that's just a how do you do. Try to make them as even as I can. Probably should get out a pair of scissors to do this. Anyway, come on, open. There it goes. Now I can stick her in each other and just wrap it around. This is better than a butt connector. Alright, now I need that. This. A little bit of that'll help the cause. Flux just allows that solder to flow in there. Hopefully this doesn't heat her end over, because I made that awful long. Then just let it heat up. These get pretty hot. That's why I like it. I used to like those pen ones, you know, but then I'm like, I'm not doing, you know, solder joints that fine. I do have those if I ever need them, but this is my grandpa's Weller and it's freaking amazing. It's truly amazing. Get that flowing good, and then we're just gonna try to tap it and send her home. Dang it, this thing don't want to play nice. Yeah, it really is not flowing very good. Maybe because it's cold. There it's going. Yeah, it's having a heck of a time. It probably doesn't help that I have it just kind of resting in the air. Like you got a solid piece. Yeah, it's pretty good on that side. So I just gotta get this side and it'll be alright. Flip it over and see what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright. Looks like a big blob of blah. But it'll be just fine. See, it's very stiff now. For the current it's carrying, it'll be fine. I think it's snowing. When it stops. It's just, yeah, snow is just to me is like annoying. You know, you're gonna be like this. It's, you know, it's, you're real worried about it, you can put a little piece of tape, but it is a little longer to reach, but then you can be able to get to your, you gotta be able to get to this, this connector. And these things, man, when they go together, they're sealed up pretty good. So it's cold right now. I think it's just, you know, I won't put it together to like lubricate it maybe a little. Just keep it like that, you know, it won't matter. Anyway, I got another one I gotta make up, and it's the same exact thing. So I'm gonna shut this off. You know, honestly, I got my bibs on, a few layers of clothes, and got these hand warmers, like, in the pockets, you know? And, like, I didn't even know they were really going, and my hands were starting to get a little cold or whatever. Stuck my hand in there, and, yeah, it's freaking great. Anyway. It's not bad. I can see where, like, if you had a, you know, if you could control the ones in your shoes, just keep them at a certain temperature, because this would get too hot after a while. You'd be like, I gotta let go of that. But yeah, it warms my hands back up. Now I can just continue on. Alright, so earlier, see, the problem is I don't know where we're going to put this graph. Like if we're putting it on the dash up here, or we're putting it over here off to the side on like a ram mount or some kind of mount. They make all kinds of stuff for, you know. But anyway, yeah, so for now, I'm gonna leave it hooked up. I can always unhook it and then route the wiring where I need it to route. And that at least gets me where I can test stuff. But this will get the power done, I believe, now for both graphs. And I've got it. The next thing I got to do is I got to figure out the power for the network. Now I'm gonna have it come off of the engine battery because unfortunately it really, like, it has to be shut off. Like, if you're not using it, you got to have it on a switch or something you can shut off. And if you don't have it like on that, then it's just going to draw so many milliamps and it'll drain your battery over time. And then if you forget to turn your switch off in the back, then it's even worse. So if it's running off of you know, off of like the engine battery, and it's fine. So you know, it'll work totally fine. Now the only thing is, like, you really want to get a multi-purpose battery, one that does, you know, is like, so multi-purpose battery, what it is like, it acts like a deep cycle and a starting battery. So a starting battery can take those big wide swings and of charges and discharges. So anyway, basically, you know, you want to put maybe like you're saying a multi-purpose battery. So instead of just a starting battery, which you normally, that's just what you'd have on your engine, you want to go to a multi-purpose battery. And it's the same thing, like if you guys that can't afford to have separate batteries and all that stuff, you want, like, if you have stuff that's like lights and everything else on your main engine battery, you want to have a multi-purpose battery for that too, because then it just ensures that should have kept this going. I need some solder on this side. So multi-purpose, you know, it's like starting plus deep cycle. That's what I'm getting at, man. I don't know if I explained that very well, but that's what it is. I'm trying to explain stuff while you're doing it. Is that good? The problem is I can't see it. Seems like on this end we don't have a whole lot of solder action. There we go, I get it now. You can't see this, but this side wasn't flowing very good. I mean, it's kind of there, but it kind of ain't. You have to let this kind of get hot again. So what I kind of like about this gun is it allows you to get a lot of solder. See, that side's fine. This side's, you kind of see it flowing in. That's why that flux works good, because it allows it to get up in there. So I'm out here working on boats, freezing my ass off, and Chuck was like, "Man, you cussing a lot." Well, I'm sorry. I just don't do cold good. So we don't have any fuses in these. I think we're gonna get, I'm gonna have to look this up, but it should be 2, maybe it's 3 amps, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up in the manual, see what they say. Alright, so lithium batteries, you know, they say, well, you don't want to run them when they're cold, right? Okay. True, but you just don't want to charge them below 35 degrees. I think that's what they say. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So 35 degrees, just don't put them on charge. And my brother said that they like to be at about 80% charged. Not all the way charged, but like slightly charged. I think that's what he said, 85 maybe. I don't know. That's probably another good questions. Alright, so that gets both of them done. We got power up there now. And we got a transducer. And so then I just needed to get power for this network. Get that done and I could kind of hook everything up and see if it sees each other. Alright, put a battery in temporarily. And got a little test light right there. And we're in the off position. I turn it on and we got a light, so that's coming off of right here. And this switch is currently off. I can make sure that in all those positions I still have power. Or I could run it off that switch. So in that position we don't have anything. It has to be all the way down. Or I need to find another place that has power. And so anyway, I'm just probing around. There's power. So let me just figure this one out. Oh,